Allen Iverson has shared much of his life with Tawana Iverson. What a lot of people may not know, however, is that Allen and Tawana have been through some serious drama together, including a few divorce proceedings. You won't believe why Allen and Tawana got divorced and what their relationship is like now. Let's get into all the details of Allen and Tawana's crazy marriage. Allen and Tawana met all the way back in high school when they were 16-year-olds attending rival high schools in Virginia. They existed in very different social bubbles. Allen was an athlete, a star on both the basketball court and the football field. Meanwhile, Tawana was a driven student who was passionate about student government. But despite their differences, Allen and Tawana fell for each other pretty hard. They became high school sweethearts and stayed together during the rest of high school, during Allen's time playing college ball, and during the beginning of his NBA career. After 5 years in the league, Allen asked Tawana to marry him, and they made things official in 2001. They already had 2 kids at that point. They went on to have a total of 5, named Tiara, Isaiah, Allen II, Messiah Lauren, and Dream Elijah. In November 2001, Allen was also signed a lifetime contract extension with Reebok. You'll see why that's important very soon. In 2009, after being married to Allen for 8 years, Tawana filed for a divorce. The reason for the divorce was pretty shocking. Apparently, despite his lifetime deal with Reebok, not to mention his huge NBA contracts, Allen had managed to go broke. According to the divorce papers that Tawana filed, Allen had burned through $150 million. He was spending all his money fueling his excessive gambling and drinking habits. Allen later admitted that Tawana's allegations were true. He had indeed spent $150 million. He was apparently at one point spending over $350,000 a month, while his income was only a fifth of that. That definitely sounds like a good way to run out of money. Tawana was even forced to sell her jewelry to pay for her kids' schooling. Allen had put the family in a very tough position. It's hard to imagine such a huge star having financial troubles, but it's not as rare as you might think. A lot of athletes have poor money management skills and go a little too crazy after they see a big paycheck. Allen clearly didn't know how to make his wealth last. Either that or he was an addict who knew what he was doing but couldn't stop himself. Despite Allen's mistakes, however, Tawana agreed to withdraw the divorce papers after he begged her to stay with him. That must have been a huge relief for Allen. Tawana had been a part of his life for so long, and they had a family together. He definitely didn't want to lose that, but the relief didn't last long. Only a few months after withdrawing the first round of divorce papers, Tawana filed for divorce again. And the second time, she saw it through to the end. The legal battle lasted until 2013. During the proceedings, Tawana revealed that, in addition to causing serious money troubles, Allen was also a serial cheater. In court, Tawana asked Allen to provide a full list of the people he had cheated on her with, from the moment they got married all the way up to the then present day. One of the women Allen is heavily suspected of having cheated on Tawana with is Nas's ex and baby mama, Carmen Bryan. Carmen wrote about having an affair with Allen in her book, It's No Secret. Well, if the affair had been a secret, it certainly wasn't anymore. Allen addressed the infidelity accusations by blaming his actions on the NBA lifestyle. He seemed to imply that it was true that he cheated, but he said that constantly being on the road kept him from being a good husband and father. The focus on infidelity during the second divorce proceedings didn't mean that Tawana forgot about Allen blowing $150 million. She also asked for a full list of all the purchases he made exceeding $1,000. Considering how much money he went through, I'm sure that list was very long. When the divorce was finalized in 2013, Tawana was granted a $3 million settlement. You might think that would have been the end of Allen and Tawana's story. I mean, the divorce was settled. The reality, however, is that their story was far from over because they reconciled very quickly after the divorce. According to Allen, they were back together less than a month after their marriage officially ended. I guess after 22 years together, they just found it too difficult to be apart. Allen believes that Tawana always hoped to reconcile even during the divorce proceedings. He said that he thinks the divorce was just her way of trying to get his attention and make him realize things had to change. He shared that she was at her wit's end when she filed for the divorce, which makes a lot of sense. Allen had landed them in a serious financial crisis, and while Tawana was doing everything she could to keep the family afloat, Allen was off cheating on her repeatedly. repeatedly. He said that if Tawana was truly just trying to get his attention, she definitely succeeded. He realized that he needed to change his ways if he wanted to still have his high school sweetheart in his life. He said that he decided to show how serious he was about her and their family. After the divorce, he became much more dedicated to Tawana and to their kids. So, ironically, their divorce actually helped save their relationship. While they might not be married anymore, their bond is stronger than ever because the divorce opened Alan's eyes to what he needed to be better at. During Alan's induction into the Naismith Memorial Basketball Hall of Fame in 2016, he expressed how deep his love for Tawana is. The two walked into the building holding hands, and it became clear throughout the night that they were in a great place together. During Alan's speech upon being inducted, he called Tawana his #1 person in the world. He said that they had had their fair share of ups and downs, but through it all, there was a real love for each other. He told her that he couldn't thank her enough for everything she'd done for him, from supporting his career and taking care of the kids while he was on the road, to helping him be a better role model for their children. He felt that she had given him so much, and he said that he was looking forward to spending another 2 decades with her. It's amazing and heartwarming that Alan and Tawana had a happy ending. Going through a divorce is a really tough thing, and it can wreak havoc on the lives of the people involved and their kids. Tawana's decision to end their marriage could have put Alan in a dark place and been really difficult for their kids to accept. But instead of that happening, Alan took the divorce as a motivation to be a better partner and father. His growth allowed him and Tawana to get back together and be stronger than ever. I can't wait to see what comes next for this couple. But what do you guys think? Did you realize Alan was experiencing big financial hardships? Can you believe how well he reacted to the divorce? Are you happy Alan and Tawana didn't break up for good?